It's your boy Crypto Millie back with another one. Let's talk about what's actually happening with Jasmy. Let me make sure everything is muted so you don't hear those notifications in the background. All right, so the current market is really putting in a correction, right? And it's mostly led by Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down harder. Now, if you want to know why the market is putting in a correction, just go watch the video that I made earlier. In today's video, I want to talk about Jasmy, right? Because I see the little trolls in the comments, you know what I mean? And this is my thing. It doesn't matter what opinion you have about Jasmy, right? Whatever opinion you have about Jasmy, that's your opinion, right? My thing is, if you hate Jasmy so much, why continuously watch the videos? I really don't get I really don't get why anybody who hates Jasmy or hates their investment, whatever, because this is not financial advice. Just like, if you don't want to hold Jasmy, don't hold Jasmy. Move on. It's just like it's really easy. It's nice. It's really that simple. So, like, uh, crypto is a place where you got to have thick skin, right? You just got to understand, if you're going to talk about crypto, and this is for anybody that's out there that does YouTube or TikTok, whatever. If you're going to talk about cryptocurrency and digital assets, right, you got to understand that it's going to be a point where the price is going down and people are going to complain. That's any financial market. It is what it is. Now, speaking on Jasmy is sitting here at 209. So it has dropped under a penny. On the weekly chart, we just broke the ultimate RSI. Now, guys, you already know how I feel about the ultimate RSI. It's my favorite indicator that I like to pair with the stock RSI, right? The thing about it is, you can see here with the Jasmy, right? If I just go to where the stock RSI is, you can see that the stock RSI looks like it's a bit oversold, but it hasn't confirmed bullish momentum, which means you want to see the cross and confirmation above 20. So because the ultimate RSI is really bearish, or it just switched bearish, and the stock RSI is technically still bearish until we get confirmation, right? There is a good chance that Jasmy can go lower. What you want to be looking for is the support here at 208, and assume, and this is hopium, that buyers come in and step in at 208, because they look at Jasmy, they look at the fundamentals, the team, they look at the utility and the use case, and they see that it's severely undervalued in a narrative, specifically AI in data, where we know that these could be explosive narratives. Now, if this is the top of the market, none of this matters, right? But genuinely speaking, right, it looks more like a correction than the top of the market because of the catalyst that we could potentially have in the next 2 to 3 months. And that's the end of QT, more Fed cuts, and maybe the possibility of the Fed turning on the money printer. Historically, right, based on what we know, whenever the Fed has to do that, normally you get the pain before the huge gains, right? So Jasmy, you can see, prints buy signals every time that we've gotten oversold. It's been a nice, good buy area for Jasmy, or DCA area. The problem is that ETH hasn't flipped bearish, but it's looking at the ultimate, so literally staring at the ultimate RSI weekly time frame. What we need Ethereum to do is to hold these moving averages. It's a good chance that it holds the moving averages, because Ethereum is coming off a bullish cross here. You can see this is a golden cross on the weekly time frame. Ethereum is coming off a golden cross. So we only can hope that this golden cross is strong enough for us to bounce off the orange line, similar to like how we seen here bounce, similar to how we seen here bounce off the orange line, which is basically a bounce off the moving averages, right? Because Jasmy is correlated heavily with Ethereum. And again, you know, you can see the ETH here. The ultimate RSI is still bullish, but it's literally staring at that line, and the stock RSI is just bearish, right? It's going down and it's not showing no signs of, you know, a reversal. So optimistically speaking, and we don't know if this will happen, we need to hold these moving averages, right? I am not trying to give you TA. I'm not trying to be an expert on TA. We can lose the moving averages. We can hold them. I'm just telling you what needs to happen for Jasmy to have an open runway. And hopefully you guys can appreciate that. We also need the Bitcoin dominance to continue to be bearish as it is below the orange line. But we need Bitcoin to get above the orange line. There's nothing wrong with Bitcoin correcting. It's nothing wrong with Bitcoin going sideways. But when Bitcoin is going down and it breaks this ultimate RSI line, usually we get a 30% correction, right? We get a nice correction every time we break this, right? 23%, 36%. And since we've broke this, the 30% correction is still in line. According to Ben Cowan, if Bitcoin loses this red line for multiple weeks, which is the 50-day SMA, then the bull run is over, right? It doesn't matter about Bitcoin dominance at that point because we need Bitcoin to go high to draw more liquidity. Why could crypto get more liquidity? Because big brains are anticipating that the money from the stock market will rotate into the cryptocurrency market because it was lagging. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. You know what I mean? You know, Jasmy on the year has been horrible. It's down 50% on the year. So, like, I understand, I get it. I understand where people, you know, they sit. You make a video like this, coin down 50% on the year. When you see other coins up, people going to be negative. Nobody remembers when Jasmy did a 20x, right? Which is fair because in business, you're only as good as your last check-in, right? You're only as good as your latest video. You're only as good as your latest face card. That's just, you know, you're only as good as, you know, your latest credit score. Doesn't matter if you had an 8 score 2-3 years ago and you was paying. If you ain't paying on everything now, people only look at it what you doing for me now, right? And that's just the state of crypto. When in reality, investing takes patience, and you invest over time, and you know, you understand that there's risk to investing, right? Usually when you invest, you're looking at a 2 to 4 or more time frame. So I understand the criticism of Jasmy. I'm not that YouTuber that's going to come up here and just give you false hopium. I'm being fair to the bulls and the bears, right? I'm letting you know exactly what I'm seeing on the chart. I'm letting you know exactly what we need for us to go higher. And I'm also, again, hopeful that this market can continue, because every time that I've felt like this and the sentiment has been like this, that's when we bounce again, right? So I'm used to doom and gloom, flash crashes, people saying it's over, people calling it top. I'm used to all of that, right? And since we've been, and we can go to the ETH chart, since we've been in this bull cycle, people have been saying that. They said it when we went up here and we started going back down. Oh, bear market's not over. We went up here, started going down. Oh, the bull market's not going to start it. Then we exploded again. We went down. Oh, it's over with, right? Then we came up here. Everybody was saying, oh, I'm bearish on ETH. I'm selling my ETH, right? Crypto banter and all them was saying they selling on ETH. And then it just went all the way back up, and then everybody was bullish on ETH, right? And now we're here again. So it's just like I'm used to the swings and the volatility of crypto, and I'm used to the flip-flop sentiments and emotional connections that everybody has to crypto, right? So I don't want this channel to feel like I'm giving you moon boyish false hope, and I also don't want this channel to feel like I'm giving you doom and gloom, right? The only thing that I'm doing is I'm showing you what is on the chart, what needs to happen, right? What's ever happened in Jasmy or crypto altcoins, it done happen. It's no need for me to come up here and be in a frustrated manner, right? Because part of investing It's taking risk. And if you ever talk to anybody successful in life, more times than not, they took a risk, right? I was listening to some motivational things this morning, and from some of the greatest investors of all time, and they said they made the most money when no one else believed. So like when everybody thought like the internet wouldn't work, email wouldn't work, when everybody thought these things wouldn't work, there were people that believed that it was going to work. There were people that were investing in those times, and then guess what? It worked. And those people that invested during those tough times made life-changing, lucrative liquidity and capital. So tough times don't last, but tough people do. I know y'all love to rage bait and make things more than what it is, but at the end of the day, right, ETH is like, I just noticed this, right? But ETH has like this huge head and shoulders pattern going on, and it's the same pattern we seen from Bitcoin. And we know ETH lags Bitcoin. Look at this. You can see Bitcoin had this huge head and shoulders pattern, and then it broke out. Of course, it's back, and you know all the gains kind of like got removed from the breakout, but it broke out. Most of this is because of the trade war tension between U.S. and China. Donald Trump continuing to tweet, even in the midst of Powell flipping dovish, he continues to tweet things that low-key are bearish for the market. The government shutting down is bullish for like the first 7 to 10 days. But once you get past 10 days, it becomes bearish because there's a lot of people that's not getting paid right now. Right. So that hurts things. Right. So that just is what it is. Right. It's only bullish like when they open it back up within 7 to 10 days. After 10 days, if it goes on for 30 days, that's not actually, at that point it's bearish because a lot of people are just getting financially wrecked because these government employees are not getting paid. So you take that for what it is. Again, remember last time it felt like this? And then and it was in October. It was last October, y'all. It was last October when everybody thought it was over with. Like right here. Let me show you. Where is it at? October, February. Where was it? Everybody thought it was over. August. This is October. Yeah, right here. This is Bitcoin. Let me go to ETH. ETH might show you how altcoins were. October 2025. No, October 2024. Right here. I think like the first couple weeks in October was bearish, just like how it is now. October, September, October. All right, here we go. So you can't really see it unless I put it on the daily. But I think October started off really, really bearish where people was like, oh, it's not. What happened to October? Show you guys what I'm talking about. We've been in 2025 like forever. Time goes by so fast, y'all. Time goes by so fast. All right, so this was Ethereum right here. Let me show you actually what I'm talking about. And you see how we went into October right here. And look at this. Look at this correction. And then we went sideways, and then by October, like the what's this, October 10th? By October 10th, that's when we started to fly. And then about November 7th, that's when ETH broke out, right? Broke out. So like we've been here before where last year October was bearish in the beginning, and then by middle October everything started to pump, and then we broke out. So just keep that into perspective. Keep that into perspective. Like the same thing happened literally last year. I remember this because everybody was in the comments doing the same thing y'all doing right now. Aha, is going down. This is Dumptober. Is no Uptober. Is no Uptober. And then we blasted up out of here, Q4. Blasted. So, and we didn't even have as much adoption infrastructure. We didn't have the catalyst, the end of QT coming up. We didn't have none of that coming up. Only thing we had coming up was the president could potentially be Trump, and Trump was pro crypto, and everybody was buying the rumor, selling the news up to his inauguration. That's all it was, and AI agents pumping. But besides that, We didn't have a catalyst in the fundamentals and stuff that we have now. All right. We've built all of that over the last year. So again, pay attention. Last year, October started off the same way, bearish, and then everything exploded. Right? We'll go check out how Jasmy did. Since this is a Jasmy video, we got to go check out how Jasmy did in the same area. Let's see here. Jasmy. We got to go to October 2024. Let's see. October 2024. November. Where was it? I didn't want to make the video too long, but I got to show y'all. You know what I'm saying? I got to show y'all. October. All right, here we go. This is Jasmy. So again, you can see here, Jasmy. And this was when we was like one penny. Jasmy started off bearish in the beginning of October. Like it was in a downtrend. Almost the entire October, it was just getting crushed. And then Ethereum exploded. And it took, look at this. Look at the move from Jasmy. Crazy moves, man. Crazy moves. And this was just last year. And y'all was doing the same thing on the Jasmy videos. Because it was supposed to be October. And Jasmy went straight fucking down the entire October. Other things was pumping, but Jasmy went down. And everybody thought like, oh, everything's pumping. Why is everything pumping, not Jasmy? And then look what Jasmy did. So I sat here. I've been looking at this. Again, it's not bearish or bullish. It's not telling you to buy this. It's not telling you to sell. This is just looking at the history. You be the judge. Anyway, I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'm out.